All right, guys, welcome back. So, what I want to talk today about is doing steroids before you have children. Um, Me being a product of steroids and a product of growing up never having the best genetics and also never having good family support that would want me to go work out or be in shape or feed me correctly. I had really bad genetics. Not really bad genetics. I have really bad parenting, and my genetics are not the best. I can work out like crazy and still never get the biggest muscles, or the most definition. So I went to the path of steroids before having kids. And with that, I went with Tren, D-ball, not D-ball. I went with Tren and a lot of like test sip and test NFA. And then I ran Tren for a long time. I was running 3 cc's, doing master run as well too, if we're gonna be honest. And Tren is the killer. Once you notice your balls start getting smaller and affecting you, you're going to have fertility problems and what's called motility problems. So I would say this to people: don't do steroids, especially before you you have kids. It's a very important thing to me to have children. I would love to have a boy. I would love for the rest of my you know time here to be able to have a few kids besides my current kid. But it is very hard. I just went to the doctor as well and got my stuff tested again. I got my blood work done. I was running about 320 on my test levels, which is decent for my age. Um, I could be blasting it and running up into the sixes, going into the nines again, but at this age, I'm trying to stay in shape, trying to stay relatively okay, but I'm also trying to produce a kid. So the problem is motility. What that means is your sperm is not swimming anymore, and it's not active. So basically, you are sterile in their mind. You can't really get someone pregnant unless you get right up in there and turkey base that bitch. And it's not easy. You can't really do anything because they're not moving, they're not swimming. So now I'm going to a urologist. They're going to probably put me on TRT, and they're going to probably give me a boatload of other drugs to fix this and hopefully get everything going. But I will tell everyone, if you want kids in the future, if you want to be reproductive, if you want to have stuff going, stay off steroids. If you're going to do steroids, do low doses. You don't need to do what all the street kids say. Don't be blasting, 3 cc's. Don't be blasting 2 cc's of anything. You don't need that twice a week. Like, stay away from Tren. It makes you feel great. I understand. Tren is amazing. Um, you never really feel sick. You never really get down. You have endless amounts of energy. But what it does to you is drastic. And I'm someone here to tell you guys that what steroids will do to you is very harsh, especially to fertility. Now, if you're just doing something small, low doses, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to recommend anything. I'm not trying to recommend this to anybody. But from what I've heard in my experience with TRT and doctors, is that they say low dosage with all your anti-amostates and all that kind of stuff will not hinder you really. Of course, over time and prolonged use of it, you will have testicle shrinking. And for anyone listening to this, you do not lose, how do you say this? Male shaft, anything. Nothing happens with that. It actually probably becomes more firm and everything else as well too. Um, but your balls will shrink, and it's going to be a road of recovery if you want to have kids. So for me, I'm back on the road to trying to have another kid, and I'm going to a doctor this time. I'm going to do everything off the streets because before I was using HCG, Pregnol, from the streets, doing it all to try to have my daughter, and I had her successfully. She's a miracle kid, I guess. We've been trying for kid number two for a very long time with zero success. So, yeah, back to the doctors I go and to try to fix this again. But I just want to tell everyone, short video, short insight, and short experience for me. If you're trying to get big in high school or in college, it's not worth it. If you want a family, if you're one of the guys like me who really wants a family in life, who wants to, you know, procreate, just make family and have fun in life with kids, you're not going to be able to do it. Now, if you're one of those ones who just want to hop on for a quick cycle, I'm not a doctor again, not a recommendation. I don't think it's going to hurt you in the long run. Popping in, popping out. But if you have prolonged use of it, you're going to, especially if you go with like the trends, the D-balls, and all the other kind of really harsh steroids. My doctor currently is going to be recommending test sip, I think is what it is. So I think it's going to be test sip twice a week or at 0.25 and or even zero point 0.2, which will probably bring my levels up to about 380 to 400, which is high or decent for my age. But yeah, guys, don't be blasting 1 cc twice a week. Don't be blasting full fucking 3 cc's into your body, ass, legs, wherever you inject. Don't do that. Especially if you want kids. I know right now you're probably young, you probably don't care or give a shit, but your future does matter. Everything you do today matters for next week, matters for the next month, and you have to think about that. And that's something I've realized too late in my life. Like my ex-wife and my brother-in-law kind of goaded me into this, and I didn't even think about what could happen and how my future could be affected. Even though I've wanted kids for a long time, like I've known once I found the right woman, I wanted to have a family and all that stuff. And I wish my daughter right now could have a sibling, but it's just very hard. So the fact is, if you do steroids, try to go to a doctor, get them prescribed. It's not that hard. You can go to a doctor and ask for TRT therapy pretty easily. If you don't have insurance, I mean, I guess you'll go to the streets as a kid. But when you go to the streets, just take my advice. Don't go crazy. Don't listen to your buddies and don't blast full CCs of shit. You don't need that. You really don't need that. Like just cruise on something low. Stay away from trend if you want kids. Your balls will shrink, guys. Don't think that they won't. And yeah, think about your future. If you want kids, if you want to have a family, if you want to do all that kind of stuff, it's going to hinder you. And you're going to have to go through a long process like me, nutting in cups, going to doctors, going to see urologists again, getting blood work done all the time. It's not fun. So I just wanted to tell you guys this a little bit from my experience and where I'm back at since I talked about this a long time ago. Back in the same boat. And I haven't done any trend. I haven't done anything in between. All I've done is low dose TRT. But like I said, I was already sterile before. And I already got a zero motility note from before as well too. And it seems like either the HCG or Pregnol every day somehow helped me one time, and I got lucky. So back to the grind. I'll keep you guys updated on this stuff if anyone actually cares. But if not, I'll still make a video on it. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to DM me or in the comments. I'll answer any questions about this and my journey. So thanks, guys.